Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Shenita Connolly, also known as Dr. C, also known as the networker. So I just want to share some amazing people with you all as a result of my networking. They are gifted and talented, and we are totally geeked about them joining me this evening, not only for this conversation about the upcoming jazz show, but just in general about their purposeful journey that they're on. So I am not going to prolong this introduction because I want you guys to have more time with them. So without further delay, please allow me to introduce Kim Scott, the flutist herself, extraordinaire, talented woman of God who I am excited to share with my circle. So join me in welcoming her to the platform. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I am well. How about you, Kim?
Great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me tonight on your show.
Well, I am so delighted that you said yes and you made time. I know that you're busy, but I am so grateful to have you and to share you with the world, whether today or next week or next month or next year. So we're excited to have you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes. So we're going to invite the gentleman in. Jay the Dreamer. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita.
Can you all hear me okay? Thank you so much for welcoming me in. I'm grateful to be here.
Yes, I'm so delighted to have you, and I love the background there, those pedicabs.
Thank you.
Jay the Dreamer, because you dream, and you not only do you dream, Jay, but your dreams become realities. And I have watched you over the years execute every one of them fearlessly. So if anyone wants to know someone who is just full of faith, it is you. So I'm just honored to have you in my circle
Thank you.
all these years. So thank
I'm
you for
honored,
saying
man.
this.
I am honored. Iron sharpens iron. So,
Yes.
I believe God bring you the people that you need on your journey. And if you properly translate that, then
Yes, yes, I'm grateful.
you can move
So,
out the way. You can get
yes,
out of
move
your
out the
flesh
way.
and let God work.
Yes. So, thank you. So, we're going to invite the next guest, Derek Jackson, into the platform. Good evening, Derek. How are you?
All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you
How you
so
doing?
much for having me as a part of this. I was just waiting in line, like, please let me get into this great room. I was sitting in the green room just eating chips and just
I
waiting for the
love it.
call. But thank you so much.
I love it. And there's so much greatness in here. And I love the fact that as we were chatting earlier, you and Kim have so much in common.
Mhm.
I just love this, and the sharing of information that just took place just a moment ago or a few moments ago is just what I love. So thank you for being here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I was just excited for the invitation.
Yes. And and guess what? We have waiting in the green room Al Smith, our
Okay.
music director for this amazing show. And I'm so excited because Al was introduced to me years ago by my friend Dwayne Martin, who is a saxophonist also. And I am just delighted. Al works with Kim Waters and manages him and Kayla. I'm just so excited to just be amongst such great, talented people. So let's just welcome Al into the room as well.
How's everybody
Good
doing?
evening. Good evening, Al.
How's everybody doing?
We're well. How about
Great.
you?
Yeah, y'all look beautiful. Excuse my attire.
You look just fine. We understand that you are working and grinding. So you're good. Yes, you're good. So let's get this conversation started. So, ladies first, and we want you all to introduce yourselves. And I always say be gracious with the introduction because, sometimes people may not be as free to share who they are. but I think it's important for us to share who we are and who God has created us to be confidently and freely. So without further delay, Kim Scott, it's on you.
Thank you so much. This is always the hardest part of an interview for me because people always say, "You're like so humble. We didn't even know that you were a musician." I'm Kim Scott. I am a professional classical and smooth jazz recording artist. I'm a Billboard charting artist with quite a few number one records and singles, and I'm very, very blessed to be able to share that information and have that experience. I'm also a music educator. For 19 years, I worked as head of a music department at the Alabama School of Fine Arts. I'm now a director or a head administrator there. So I wear a couple of hats. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and as you said earlier, I'm a child of God. I don't, hold that back. I have no shame in that game because I know all my blessings come from Him, and I'm extremely blessed and very grateful. So, very honored to be here.
Yes, thank you so much. And as I was listening to your interview yesterday on WCLK, I was hearing Reva say, or maybe it was you that said, my parents were musicians. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so I was just amazed to learn that in the interview yesterday.
Yeah, my parents were actually signed to the famous Stax Records label out of they used to record in Muscle Shoals and in Tennessee, and they had plenty of records. They opened up for all the famous musicians of the 70s, Lionel Richie, you name it. And they had a couple of records out. So I grew up in a home where music was always present, whether it was classical music, we listened to the Boston Pops, we listened to jazz, we listened to funk. So it's just in me. My mother's a classical pianist. My dad is a saxophonist and a vocalist. And growing up, I always knew that I would be a musician. And, they say when you're young, you don't really know what you're going to do. But about fifth grade or so, I knew that I was going to make a living as a musician, whatever that meant.
Wow. And now not only a musician, but an educator in the musical education.
Yeah. I actually didn't aspire to be an educator, actually. But going through college, I knew that I needed to share that gift at that point. I was like, I can't have all this knowledge and have all these experiences and just, keep it to myself. And the greatest thing I ever did was, release that, that training that I have and those experiences I have to the institution where I work. And I've been able to inspire so many young people. And now that I've been doing it, this is my 24th year.
Wow.
In education. So now that I've been doing it that long, I have students who have their doctorates or, and who are on Broadway. I have a student who is touring right now with Lizzo playing her flute, so I get to see what they say, the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
And it is just such a blessing to see that being carried on in the young people that I've touched.
Yes. Oh, such a blessing. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Yes. And Jay the Dreamer.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
I mean, I tell you, man, I feel like a kid in spirit, man.
I love it.
I'm really, 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 really fortunate to not just have the path that I've had, but have insight about the path that I have. So my journey as an artist started probably maybe 12, 13 years ago. That's not true. It's a little bit longer than that. I moved here from Los Angeles to Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, and actually film took me to LA. And when I moved here to Atlanta, I got exposed to poetry and that whole scene, and people like Hank Stewart, people like Georgia Me and Abyss. It was just so many dynamic Black people who had something to say. I actually found my voice in those spaces with those individuals. So big shout out to them. They definitely inspired me. And then from there, I took it to the next level, and I got exposed to tap dancing. Now, I grew up and I saw a little bit of Showtime at the Apollo. Sandman, he used to tap dance and move people off the stage, but it wasn't really a desire. It didn't become a desire until I actually moved to Atlanta and I saw these two twin brothers, Sean and John. They were street performers. And I was like, oh no, I'm doing that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in the Americas, but I'm doing that. So just, and that was 30. I was 36 when I started. I'm 50 now. So started at an older age or a more seasoned age, which typically in the arts, when you come from those spaces, you start out young and then you kind of are developed from there. For me, I started as well into my adulthood. And going back a little bit about how I process and interpret the things that I do, combining poetry and tap dance. First of all, that was birthed from something else. Then started doing that, and then through that got exposed because, as scripture says, your gifts will make room for you. So though combining those two art forms put me in another space to get more exposure, which you alluded to earlier, but for the guests, I started making wine because I got exposed to vineyards and traveling all over the world. And I said, wait a minute, I can actually make wine and I'm my own wine company. So the gift of tap dance and poetry took me to places that gave me more exposure. So we'll talk a little bit more about that throughout the show, but
Yes.
I'm definitely a dreamer. I definitely execute on the things that, God gives me to do. And through that is my responsibility to inspire the people coming after me or the people that's around me that, number one, our people deserve better. And number two, what are you doing with your life? You're not here to exist. You're here to actually live it. And you're going to be scared sometimes. You ain't going to always have the money sometimes. You ain't going to always have the support from people you think should support you all the time. But what is God calling you to do? And that's what I do in life. And
I love it.
I feel
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I love it. I can't wait for them to get to see your gifts on stage.
Ashe.
And Derek, it's on you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Derek Jackson. I'm the director of bands at the Martha Ellen Stillwell School of the Arts, and we're located in Jonesboro, Georgia.
Clayton County Public Schools?
Yes, Clayton County Public Schools. Definitely. I interned in Clayton County Public Schools. I taught elementary, middle school, and high school levels. As far as my professional musicianship, I attended, my background is I attended Florida A&M University, music education. I never thought I'd be a professional musician. One of my professors, Longinu Parsons, he asked me if I could play a bass trombone part for an off-Broadway show. And after that, everything jumped off. My first professional gig was with Barry Manilow. I moved forward with Aretha Franklin. And it's just been a ride. Jennifer Nettles. And I just have a true love for music. I'm also a state of Georgia teaching artist. And pretty much that's just a person who is a professional musician that also can go out and do workshops for our young children and young musicians. So I'm just excited. I'm a band director, so I could talk for 20 minutes, but I'm just going to talk 1 minute. And similar to Miss Scott, I knew exactly when I was growing up, I could hit a really mean curveball, but I knew I was going to do music. And I mean, I always talk about my mother buying me this trombone or renting it. And she told me I had to play it for a year. And I tried to do everything but play that instrument, and it has changed my life. But anyways, we'll talk later about it. But thank you so much, Dr. C, for having me here with you.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you on board this evening. And last but certainly not least, we have the man, the musical director, Mr. Al Smith. Will you introduce yourself to the audience, Al, and tell them a little bit about who you are? You just need to come off mute and share freely.
I don't know where to start. I'm not going to measure up to anything that everybody else talked about. I'm just from the ghetto, I stayed out of jail playing the keyboard. That's about it. I'm from Baltimore, it's kind of rough up there. So you got to do what you got to do to stay out of trouble. That's why I'm down here in Atlanta. In Clayton County, right, Doc? We live in Clayton County. So,
Yes, we live in Clayton County.
yeah, that's about it.
So Al,
Uh-oh.
tell them a little bit more. How did this music career start, other than staying out of trouble in Baltimore?
Well, I graduated from Morgan State University, and congratulations. But like the other fellow teacher, I was a music education teacher, and band director. So as he will probably share with you, I'm sure you already know, Doc, is that when you graduated college, and Kim knows this as well, you go into a school system, they ask you, they asked me, my principal came to me and says, I need to see all your lesson plans for the first, 6 months. I said, lesson plan? I'm a band director. What do you want me to do? I'm going to conduct Raiders of the Lost Ark and E.T. That's a long time ago, back in like 92, 93. I said, you want to see lesson plans for me conducting the band? I said, yeah. I said, okay. So I talked to my cooperating teacher. I said, well, what am I supposed to do? He told me to go to the library, print some stuff out, and give it to him. That's what I did. So after that, I said, I'm not going to do this. So I just picked up and packed up my little Honda Civic and rolled to Atlanta. I can't do this. It was like $25,000 a year, something like that. They would pay us back in the 90s. I said, I can make more money doing gigs than I can doing this teaching thing. And it was like 2-3 gigs a week as opposed to every day getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Nah, I was done.
And that career or that decision has led you to some wonderful years of success as a musician and a manager of other artists.
Well, I'm not sure if I managed too many of them, but I do play with a lot of them. I was MD for Gloria Gaynor, of course, Kim Waters, and now T.C. Carson, and one of Kim's fellow flautists, Reagan Whiteside. So I play with a lot of different people. Katie Lattimore, and whoever calls. I used to play with Mesa a lot because she's also from Baltimore. So after that, I never went back to teaching. I don't think I'm going to go back, and probably until I get old. But I'm already 4. So I'm not sure how old I got to get, but
But what you can do is when they have career day in those schools, you can go in and share your gift and talents and inspiration with those students because they'll
do that. Yeah.
So I am excited because all of you all will be a part of this Sunday's concert. And although it has a very purposeful meaning behind it, I'm just excited that you all have agreed to share the platform and share your gifts and talents with the audience. So I would like for you all to just kind of share just a little bit about what this show will mean to you. I know you may have thought it was going to come later for that, but just an elegant evening of jazz. What does it mean to you all to be a part of this celebration, knowing just a little bit about how and why it came together? Kim?
Yeah, I'm extremely honored to have gotten the call from you and for you to have explained that the concert was birthed from losing your husband and really wanting to give back and be an inspiration to other widows and widowers. It's just, as musicians, we do what we do to inspire people and to give people hope and to empower people. So any platform that we have to do just that and to, give people just to let them know that they can go on and that life gets better. There's, life on the other side of a tragedy, so I'm really, really grateful. And I love how you titled it Life After the Rain, because there is some beautiful stuff that happens after the rain has fallen. You get rainbows and, the greenery has been watered and it starts to grow and it's nurtured and it's just healing. So all of that, I'm all in for it. So I've got all my, little things that I want to say to the audience, and I programmed music that fits in with that theme. And it's just going to be a really, really important time to pour back into people who probably experienced some of the lowest lows of their lives. I can't imagine losing a spouse. Like, I would be devastated, losing my husband and trying to figure out how to keep going after that. I can't even process that. But my job as an artist that you've brought on is to inspire and give people that hope. And no, I haven't been through that experience, but I know that God is with you and that you are strong enough to keep going and that you will prosper because God is with you. So I'm so excited about the evening. And
Yes.
it's definitely going to be elegant.
Yes. I cannot wait to see all the fabulous outfits, and I know you're going to be fabulous, Kim.
I'm going to do my best.
Yes, I have no doubt. I am so excited about that part of it. So
Thank
not
you.
only will they be gifted with sound, but they'll be gifted with a beautiful view. So yes, and beautiful music. So there is life after the rain, regardless of whether they lost a spouse, a parent, a child, a sibling. We
Yes.
just want to give them hope on this night. And they walk away and say, man, that was an experience. That's what my goal is. From the moment they walk up that sidewalk into that concert hall and they leave that concert hall and they say, wow, now that was an experience. That's my whole goal for the evening. So thank you for being a part.
It's my
So
pleasure.
Jay, would you share with us what does it mean for you? Because you and I know this journey and walk this journey. As my husband passed away, you knew us as a couple, and so what does it mean for you to be a part?
Honored would be a very a tremendous understatement for me. Is you know, dear Winston, that's my guy, man. Um, and aside from Winston, I've experienced death of loved ones and people who are really, really close to me and best friends and people it just stifles you. It literally takes the breath away from you. Here recently, I have a very close friend who transitioned, pastor out in Los Angeles, and watching his journey of cancer. And he and his wife had cancer at the same time. Hers went into remission, thankfully, but just 2 years prior, they lost a son to suicide, right? When I think about what could I have done to talk him off the bridge, or what could I have done to be more present? Ultimately, we know God has the ultimate say, but for me, it is being in the moment with each and every person, not take it for granted just because I felt what I felt or experienced what I experienced, that they're in that same place. And I'm there to just let people know I see you. In my closing, there was another dear friend of mine who I went to school with their children. So they're probably 20 years older than me, but when the mom, who I'm the closest with, as she was transitioning out of an abusive relationship, that her husband now, or ex-husband now, deceased. One thing I shared with her, I don't know why, but for a mother who goes to the grocery store once a week and had been doing so for 33 years, what Spirit gave me was there's life after Kroger. Because when you're in the habit or the ritual of going to the grocery store to feed your family, these are rituals that we go through and we develop these habits and these schedules and these patterns. And then when that's disrupted, there's a void, right? So how do we fill that void, or how do we help other people to fill that void? And being on this, not just in this conversation, but to share the stage with such phenomenal beings, and I know that we'll do just that, because that's what we're gifted to do.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, it is definitely, there's life after Kroger. There's life after the rain. And we want to encourage people, regardless of what they've gone through, whether it's divorce or losing a job or losing a loved one, that there is life after the rain. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Al, can you share with us, what this event means to you and your team? Because you have a team that will be a part.
Yes, we do have a team, but I got to say first, you guys kind of pulled a trump card, because along with myself and our team, should we say, we are all very religious. We all really follow God closely. And a doctor would tell you I wasn't planning on being here that long because we got to go do some things for work at night. But then you pulled that, I had to sit down. And all of you all have some really touching stories. I'm sorry you lost your husband. Good, I hadn't any idea. And of course, the testimony we just heard from Jay was really touching. So I'm not going to really get too into that because they take it a whole different way. But we're looking forward to be part of something. It's something like that. It's an honor to really have everyone to come together for a positive thing. And that's what music does. It brings us all together. Food, music, and unfortunately funerals, but and sports. But it brings people together. So we're looking forward to coming together. It'd be our first time playing with Kim. I heard great, glorious things about Kim. I already kind of knew about it, but I never had a chance to meet her. So we're looking forward to that. And to meeting everyone, so this means a lot for us to be here in Clayton County, our home, right in our backyard, to come out here and be a part of something so festive. So thank you, Doctor, for putting this together. And we're honored to be a part of this.
Yes, thank you. And I just give glory to God, because when he gave me the vision last year and he challenged me to step my game up, level up, and do something that's going to require faith beyond what I've ever seen. And Jay, the struggle, what it's been for 8 years. And so this is requiring me to go to a different level and not even be concerned about all the seats being filled. I'm okay with that, because those who are supposed to be present will walk away with a present. And I'm excited about it, because when I saw Kim perform last year in my hometown, Pensacola, at the Gulf Coast Jazz Festival, and I wasn't even supposed to be over at the table where the artists were, but one of my friends was working the table on that Saturday, and it got kind of backlogged, and I was like, let me go over and help. And then on that Sunday, she was by herself, and I said, I can't let her be by herself. So I went and volunteered another entire day. And I want to say, Kim, did you perform Saturday or Sunday?
I was on Saturday.
So I met you and your husband while I was at the table, helping them for that short period of time. And then when I went on Sunday, I was there all day working that booth, just trying to help the lines go quicker. And I had the opportunity to meet you and your husband. And I thought, man, that's an awesome team. And that's what Winston and I were. We were great teammates. And when I saw your husband as your manager, and he was making sure you were good, and he was right there by your side, and I just loved that. And the fact that we attended jazz concerts everywhere. And then when I saw your aunt, who my husband and I had met at the Seabreeze Jazz Festival years ago, I was like,
God thing.
Yes. It was only by his design that he orchestrated all this.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. So Derek, what does it mean to you?
Well, for me, I always tell my students about my experiences as a professional musician. And they say, well, when can we get paid? And I'm like, you got to develop stories before you get paid. So for me, it allows me to give the students the opportunity to be in a professional environment where they're going to see professional musicians like Miss Scott, the Dreamer, Mr. Al Smith, do these things for a living. Because a lot of times in our community, we try to say that our students can't be professional musicians, that those things cannot be attainable. And, they look at my example and they're like, well, you've got this, you've got that. But I tell them, I'm like, look, there's people doing this and they love it. And whatever you love, you can develop it so that you can do it for a living. You don't have to go to your job and be upset. And I told him, I said, when I go into this building every day, when I cross that threshold with you all, I know you come with your invisible book bags. But hopefully you'll take all those book bags off and you'll be able to be and express yourself through your art and your gift. Because it's a gift. And I tell my students, I say, God chose you to display this gift. And you need to take it to whatever heights you can take it. So long story short, the students are going to have a story. It's going to be a good story. They're going to remember this for the rest of their lives. And hope that's not me with the internet. But yeah, so I'm just excited about that part. I didn't even, Dr. C, I don't even know if we ever met before this. But when you reached out to me, I said, it's the summer. How am I going to get these kids for the summer? And I asked the kids and they said, oh, Mr. Jackson, we got you. So definitely this is going to be fun. They're going to have some fun. And thank you so much. And for the professionals on here, all I can say is my kids are excited. Of course, they Google everything to make sure I'm telling the truth. They're like, oh, we're gonna Google check all of this. And I mean, it's incredible. The volunteers are excited. And they play too. but they were like, we can't play this time. I said, we can't have 30 kids.
Right.
So they said, well, we'll volunteer. And I know what's going to happen. One of them's going to snatch an instrument and start playing. But, you know, besides that, but thank you so much. But it means a lot to me. And I'm just glad that I am able to connect with this group of musicians and artists and professionals, because I connect with different people. And this is just another lane for me. I love it.
Yes. And I'm so excited because, as I mentioned to you all, I think before the show, my husband taught as a long-term sub in Clayton County Public Schools for 10 years after he retired as a computer programmer from the Army. He did 20 years and he did 10 for the state of Georgia. And he loved children, and special needs kids was his niche. Like, he really loved them. And he loved jazz. And I thought, you know what? This is a great way to infuse both of those. Bringing your students in and being able to give a donation to your program so that you, and this is my first time ever doing a public donation in his memory, in his honor. And so I'm so elated to be able to bless your program this time. And so I'm just excited. So I want you guys to share with the audience just a little bit about what's next. Like, Kim, what's for you? What's going on with your music? Where are you? What are you doing? So
Well, I'm traveling and playing concerts like a crazy woman. No, I'm really blessed that I have a calendar that goes into 24. So every weekend, outside of my 9 to 5 at the fine arts school, every weekend my husband and I are somewhere on the planet on a stage performing my music. So in addition to doing venues and festivals and all this stuff across the world, I'm working on my 6th album. So I'm really excited about that. This week, in fact, tomorrow, the first single from that album comes out. It's called Magic City Streets. I wrote it with Paul Brown and Shane Terrio, who are 2 Grammy-winning artists in the industry. So I'm really excited about it. It's super funky. So everybody go out and download it, tonight, so you can get it when it drops in the morning.
Yes.
I have a new video coming out tomorrow for that song as well. So I'm excited about that. And just excited to continue to create. As musicians, we try not to be stagnant. We always want to be moving forward and continuing to learn. I always tell my students, the best thing you could ever do is be a lifelong learner. Mm-hmm. So even though I'm a professional and I've been playing flute for 40 years, I still learn. I still study. I still make avenues for me to be better and better every year. So people can find me on the road. They can visit my website, kimscottmusic.com, and see where I am, week to week. And I love my fans. So come out and see me on a stage somewhere near you.
Yes. Kim, will you share, like right now, I have your information scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but you guys are very actively involved with your viewers on your social media pages. Would you share so that they can connect with you?
Sure. I love my fans and friends, and I, love for you guys to follow me everywhere on social media. Facebook, I have the Kim Scott Music page. That's the official page. I have a Kim Scott page, but that's my personal page. You can join that too. But Kim Scott Music is the official page. Instagram is K Scott Flute. TikTok is K Scott Flute. I'm on Twitter. I'm threading. I don't know what I'm doing on there, but yeah, I'm threading K Scott Flute as well. And people can actually subscribe to my newsletter by going to my website, kimscottmusic.com. Everything is there. So if you can't remember anything I've said, go to kimscottmusic.com. All my social media links are there. All of my music is there. The subscription sign up is there. That is a one-stop shop.
I love it. And I just believe in my heart of hearts that sharing is caring and caring is sharing. And so I just am so excited that my circle will get to experience what I experienced last year with your gift. So thank you again for saying yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very blessed. Thank you.
Yes. So Jay, would you share with the audience, What's going on with the dreamer? Where are you? What are you doing? How can they connect?
So for me, so interesting you asked that. So I wholeheartedly believe in the scripture that you got to stir your gifts, right? And
Mhm.
I'm tremendously gifted, which I'm very humbled and grateful for the gifts that I possess. In this particular season of my life, I stirred them up, and I'm charged with creating 50 millionaires before the year is out. So we've been head down in this initiative because we understand that it takes finances sometimes to do the things that you're called to do. So that's taken up a lot of my time right now, creating 50 millionaires before the year is out. We actually launch on November 11th of this year. We have our opening reception, and for those who are viewing, we do this through a culmination of the arts and wine. So pairing up the two, and it's just the journey has been already phenomenal. That's really taken a lot of my time, but everything has, one thing begets another for me. It's a lot of moving parts, and those moving parts have joined forces, and oh man, this is 50 has been absolutely amazing for me. Bringing in the new year in Africa, and now being able to I took like 8 people with me, and now that has grown its own set of legs because they're responsible now to bring other people on board, right? And so now we got another group, a whole another set of people going later on in the year, but it all ties together. Artistically, being able to work with artists on the continent and around the diaspora is it's in that pot. It's mixed in. So, and it's not just the arts, but entrepreneurs and creatives around the globe, but mostly people of color. So that's what I do.
I was just thinking about Kim was in Africa, weren't you, just recently? And
Yes.
I saw you and your family doing some amazing things over in on the continent, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jay, and I want to say Jay makes bow ties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sick, some of the most creative bow ties for men that you'll ever see. Fabrics from Africa, just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being very modest. The pedicab company that's in Atlanta.
Those things.
Yes, the
They're
bow tie
everywhere.
company, the wine label. He's definitely has been gifted with many talents, and as he said, he uses them to the utmost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that.
You're so welcome.
Yes. So Derek, share with us and the people a bit about what you have going on, what you're doing, so the people can reach out to you, contact you, and all of that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. So you can reach me at www.thedjencounter.com. I don't do a lot of the social media anymore. I just had to kind of remove myself because a lot of my friends had their own type of opinions and stuff. And I said, I just rather talk to people face to face. So that's why I don't do all of that now. I just finished Water for Elephants at the Alliance Theater. We had a run there from June 5th to like July 9th. I will start playing Fiddler on the Roof. My lane is I do a lot of musicals. When I Dream came to Atlanta about Dr. Martin Luther King, I was asked to play in that, and it just kind of jumped from there. I did West Side Story last year. As far as my personal music, I am going to finally complete my own project because over COVID, I bought a MacBook Pro. I learned how to use exactly, Jay. I'm trying to get this technology thing too. So I started developing my own tracks, and my wife, she's in the other room, but she'll tell you I would stay up to like 4 a.m. looking at YouTube and looking at this and seeing how I could do shortcuts. So I am going to complete that project. So that will be happening. And I have tons of things that are going to be going on during the year. I play with the Joe Granston Big Band and also Russell Gunn's World Crunk Jazz. And the group I play with now, the Black Gold Orchestra, We just finished our first single, and this is an all African American male big band. It's killing. And the name of the single is, let me type in my password. The name, so you all can get this, but it's called Merging Lanes. And it's the Black Gold Orchestra. And I don't know if you all know Larry Wilson, but he's an incredible drummer, pianist, everything. And we did this album probably a year ago, and so now it's actually coming out. And it was his dream to have a all black male big band. So it's killing. I love it. I'm excited. I'm excited about the people that are on this call. Jay, I'm going to be reaching out to you about some of those ties in Africa, because I just talked to my mom. She's trying to go to Africa. My wife's talking about Africa. We need to talk. And definitely, Miss Scott, I want to get you. I want to pick your brain about administration on the performing arts level. So that's what's happening with me.
I love
I'm
it.
a sucker for big bands. Just
Hey, it's killing. It's swinging too. Now,
love
I'm
it.
not the trombone soloist on there. It's I can't remember his name right now. It's Herb, but it's a swinging album. I was playing lead trombone on it. So no, third
Love
on
it.
that one. Russell's album is lead. So definitely check it out.
I
Merging
definitely-
Lanes, Black Gold Orchestra.
I got
I
it.
love it. That is so cool. So we definitely want to hear from Al Smith on what he has going on, and where can people reach you, Al? If you tell me, I'll type in so that they can know how to reach you.
Why do I have to go after all of what they all just said? You could have people going to Africa and write CDs. Well, Larry's a bad dude, by the way. And I need to get a couple of those shirts that you make with those bow ties there, Jay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. We like to wear that stuff on the stage because we do a lot of jam sessions. That's where we provide platforms for people to do exactly what Derek was doing. They don't have a chance to have a platform to play. I got to do one tonight down at Cat's Cafe. That's where I'm headed in a few minutes. So it's oftentimes that when I first got down here, they would never let me play. There was always some type of click going on. So I said, man, if I ever get a chance to have a platform to let everybody come out here and share their gift. So that's what we do. That's pretty much what we do a lot, on top of playing with a lot of different bands. But I need to take notes from Derek there and just do my own thing. You know, you learn how to do the MacBook on YouTube and all that. I know about Logic, you know, so.
I had to do it. I play trombone. So
right.
I gotta have a link.
Right. So we all really got to do that to share this stuff past our generation, you know, to let our grandkids know about what we used to do and how well we did it, you know. So, Doc, I can't thank you enough for letting us all be a part of your event. You know, it's going to be a really good time to really share, I guess. And we're honored to be on the stage with all of you all, actually. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I am so excited to just share you all with them. And I know they're going to be blessed beyond their imagination, because I'm sure everybody has a perception of what they expect to experience. But I'm hoping what they experience will go far beyond their imagination. And so I'm truly excited about that. So if there is any closing remarks you all want to make before we close out, please share that. And with the audience, anything that you'd like to share as we prepare to close.
I just want to encourage everybody to go ahead and get those tickets. There are a few tickets left. I don't want you guys to miss out on the experience and the blessing that Sunday evening will be. Just dynamic music, art, you know, just being in a place where everybody is full of joy and hope. You know, that kind of stuff is infectious. We want everybody to leave on a high from that night. So spiveyhall.org.
Yes, that's where they need to get those tickets. spiveyhall.org. Yes. Jay?
I would like to leave that the currency is the relationships. The currency will always be the people that you encounter. And what is undeniable is a person's gifts, right? And the gift is something that we don't work for, but is granted to us. And with that comes a responsibility. For those who are listening, come and experience some of what the Creator has gifted us to do. And I tell you, you'll meet some people like Shenita was saying earlier. You know, you never know who you'll meet serving or being a blessing to someone else, right? The more you get in the spirit of being a blessing to someone else, you'll find your life starting to unfold. So I say definitely support this effort, support the cause of this effort, and I believe you'll walk away with a testimony as well, or a relationship or two, and just bring your light. How about that? Bring your light and let your light shine also.
Jay,
We're
you
going to
need to
bring
be
our light. I promise you, we're going to bring our light. Bring your light so we can illuminate all this darkness that's happening in the world.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, Jay, you need to be a pastor, bro.
Ironically, I just finished
Will there
seminary.
be one?
So, yeah,
Okay.
I just finished seminary. And
Congratulations.
That's
thank you.
what's going on. Yeah.
Yes, definitely has a word.
But
Yeah,
I can't give, they don't want me in the church because I'm going to tell it like it is. So they like,
Right.
nah, put this Negro out. No.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Derek?
Like Miss Scott said, please get out, get your tickets. It's going to be a great event. I'm excited. I'm just happy to be a part of it. Thank you, Doctor. I keep saying Dr. C, Dr. Connolly, for having the program come out and just, I always tell my kids it's kind of like a hang, and that's how you develop your relationships. So hopefully we'll be able to bring these kids in 10 years from now, 20 years when they're out doing this thing that we're doing. So I'm very excited, and thank you so much. And like Ms. Scott said, and some others, please get out and get your tickets. Spivey Hall is great. I played with Jasmine Horn a few months ago at Spivey Hall. It has a great sound.
Yeah.
So definitely get your tickets.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, I know, Al, you don't like to be last, but
After all of that, Kim said it best. You gotta get your tickets. Then Jay came in with the testimony, and then Derek was the icing on the cake. I go back together right now. It's already.
I love it. I love it. Well, I am excited again to share your gifts with the people on this wonderful occasion of celebrating life after the rain, with so many people, being able to honor my deceased beloved husband's life by having the Martha Ellen Stilwell Jazz Band perform in the audience as the guests arrive.
Nice.
Just to be able to give back to something that he cares so much about means a lot to me. First time in 8 years that I've ever done this. And so 8 is the meaning of new beginnings. And so this is how I'm beginning this next era of my life, in this way of trusting God all the way through. If you guys only knew the story, you would understand it. But God has truly carried me and so many others through this journey. I thank him for even trusting me with the hearts of widows and widowers for 8 years. Because even as I was grieving, he gave me the assignment. And I was thinking to myself, like, really, Lord, how am I going to be a blessing to them? And I'm still feeling broken. And when I tell you the stories, the testimonies, the comments that I have been received over the years keeps me going. And so I'm grateful that he said, you will take care of their hearts because they have already been broken. And I want to make sure that it doesn't get broken any further. And so I feel honored that he trusted me on this journey. So I'm grateful to be able to host this show, for us all to look fabulous, and to be able to brighten up somebody else's life and continue to inspire them with what you guys are doing in your lives. And, just as Jay said, bring some light in the dark world that we live in. And so I'm just honored again that you all said yes to be a part of this elegant evening of jazz.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah, I gotta go see the parole officer, so I'll check y'all later.
The Be More in the house. The Be More. Be more.
Right.
Yes. So you guys stay blessed and encouraged.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for
All right.
having us on tonight.
Yes,
See you
thank
soon.
you.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So thank you all for watching. Please join us on Sunday evening for an elegant evening of jazz at Spivey Hall on Clayton State University campus. You will not be disappointed. Get your nice outfit. Red carpet will be waiting for you, and we'll see you at 5 p.m. Doors open at 4 p.m. Tickets can be received or gotten on site that night or online at www.spiveyhall.org. Thank you for watching, and please like and share this video. You guys stay blessed and encouraged. Remember, I love you, but God loves you most, and He loves you best. Peace, love, joy today and always. Take care.